the emanation of the creative imagination through art, dance, drama, music, and so on, are forms of such creative expression. Whether or not we are concerned with culture, however, in its holistic or narrower sense, does not change the basic relationship that can be found between culture and technology. Technology helps to shape and produce culture as culture creates and employs technology. Therefore, societies in their many manifestations are products of the interplay between cultural expression and technological application. But with few exceptions, every man, woman, and child of planet Earth is a potential consumer of audio and video products. These signals can be transmitted to and received from any place on Earth's surface where the sun shines due to solar power and satellite transmitting technologies that have entered their fourth generation of encircling the globe, in an interconnected network now comprised of over 500,000 miles of fiber optic cabling. Events occurring in any part of the world can now be witnessed vicariously in real time by anyone with access to receiving equipment. From the release of Nelson Mandela to the events of Tiananmen Square to the destruction of the Berlin Wall, such events were witnessed by almost a quarter of the human race. Of course, it is only a very small fraction of the globally transmitted material that is as momentous as world events such as these. And they are the transmitted material that is made up of entertainment, which is the vehicle for all advertising messages, and the bulk of which originates in the United States. Latin Americans in particular have generally been more in tune with the commercial orientation of the US market than Europe. Latin viewers are accustomed to the US's style of pacing, as reflected in their keen interest in US movies and television. The Caribbean, with an average of over 80% imported content, is the most penetrated region in the world by foreign television. Together, Latin America and the Caribbean account for approximately 10% of the world's television audience, having approximately 35 million TV receivers. In Barbados, 40,000 television sets are tuned in to the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation's 7 hours of afternoon and evening programming, in which 9 of the 10 most popular programs originate in the United States. Smaller, less developed islands like St. Vincent and St. Lucia are subjected to the same kind of dual colonialism, getting programs either originating in the United States, Barbados, or Trinidad. Ultimately, village, community, and national heroes fade before the images of Hollywood stars. People are being taught that it is more blessed to give blows than to receive counsel, and that the inevitable ways of an argument is through violence or physical and verbal abuse. Fundamentally, the portrayal of the US's reality exerts a deleterious effect on the ability of a fragile indigenous culture to survive. Furthermore, many productions are now being made in New York or LA and bring higher costs, but is made necessary to aim to a broader audience. Consequently, topical and local viewpoints tend to get lost in the process. Although in many ways rich and varied, the African influence has survived in the Caribbean in several modes of dialects, in storytelling, dance, and especially music, though a certain sense of inferiority remains. Imperialism may have decreased, but it is still a fact of daily life for Caribbeans. Since most Caribbean countries didn't win their independence or have a self-sustaining government until the 1960s or 70s, their cultural mix was developed in the shadow of their masters and colonizers. Individual, national, and cultural identity is still a central problem. Many West Indians must continually ask themselves the dual question: what does it mean to be a resident of my island? What does it mean to be a Caribbean? All in order to regain their culture that has been so diluted, and in many ways brought on by what has become the globalized media.